800 AD to 1066 AD. And during this time were the most feared people in Europe, as they were very successful in raiding. The secret of these raids were their longships. The most famous longship is the Osberg ship, which was especially made to weave through their passages. The other key ingredient to their raids were shields and weapons. The thick material, the swords, and the shields helped their protection from other tribes. A lot of places that the Vikings attacked were wealthy and relatively defenseless.
Another reason the Vikings' raids were so successful was because many of their targets were very weak. This was important as it allowed the Vikings to gain wealth and valuable goods from defenseless men of the church. They liked to attack places like Lindisfarne, which was undefended and very exposed, yet wealthy. Our king was a scholar and a monk that lived in Germany and heard about the news about the Viking raid on the monastery of Lindisfarne in Northumbria on the 8th of June, 793 AD. Our king said of this raid that it was unthinkable that such a holy place should suffer from the attack of foreign heathens, and behold, the church of St. Cuthbert spattered with the blood of the priests of God, spoiled of all its ornaments. A place more vulnerable than all in Britain is given as a prey to pagan peoples. This raid was also significant as it sent shockwaves into Anglo-Saxon England. This was the first of many raids on British monasteries.
The Viking shields and armour were essential to their raids and warfare. The shields used by the Vikings were 1 metre in width and were riveted together by wood-like materials that had a central hole for hand grip. The Vikings had swords made out of cubical steel known as alphabet. Later on in the Viking era, the blades of their swords were 100 centimetres long, 4 to 6 centimetres wide, with the total weight of the sword ranging from 1 to 2 kilos. The Vikings had a very sophisticated weaponry system that was great for raiding. For example, berserkers. The berserkers were important to the Viking army because they were the really crazy people and knew nothing but to defeat their enemy. They were very tough and didn't wear armour, and there was a 50-50 chance that the berserkers would not come out alive. This is just one example of one type of the Viking soldiers. The major advantages that the Vikings had in their raids was the quality of their ships. These ships were good as they were able to navigate their way through rivers and uncommon strips of water, which was important to surprising their enemies coming in from behind. The ship was able to do this as the timber was so flexible. This can be seen in the Osberg ship and was made 22 metres long, 5.1 metres wide, a mast that's 9 to 10 metres high, and can reach top speeds of 10 knots. An example of the way the Vikings used their ships was in 789 AD, when the Vikings raided the Wessex shore. The first Vikings raids were a complete surprise and had no proper detail or structure, but their ships were quick to get in and quick to get out. After that, they left and continued to raid on.
It is for these reasons we have discussed and shown in this documentary that the Vikings were so successful in their raids.